Hey everybody, welcome back to the Adventure Archive. We're on episode 5 of Trouble in Twin Lakes with the Cairn second edition system. I had no idea. I was just talking to everybody off stream that this little zine is packing quite the punch. So we're potentially up to 10 hours after this session, which is pretty crazy. But before we begin, I guess we should thank Heimat der Katastrophe for the soundtrack. Go check out the link down below if you want to check out their cool dungeon synth music. And hey, welcome all new subscribers. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers lately. Not sure if everybody's checking out our actual plays, but if you are, welcome. Thank you. I think we said we got some new people in the chat too. If you are new in the chat, let us know. I see Zach, new guy. Welcome, man. Thanks for the sub. We got Sam Dark as always. First one here. And yeah, if you guys are new, don't be quiet. Feel free. Let us know you're here. We like to talk to you guys. But anyway, I'll do a brief recap of what happened last time. You guys actually covered a lot of ground last time. You, after blowing up, after Rune exploded all of the nightcasts in a crazy just bomb. It's funny, I checked the map, the cloud of smoke is still going off. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, you guys blew up some nightcats. You took Jandy back to Ismustown. He went to go visit Giva, who you guys haven't really met. I think you may have seen her briefly, like on her porch or something, but you haven't spoken to her. She lives in a very small cottage, sort of on the eastern part of town. And then you guys decided to go check out the White Tower, the fens. Well, you didn't know there was a White Tower there until you went to go check it out. And you found a strange amber-like liquid at the bottom of it. You also found a dead person wearing chainmail, and you pulled him out. And I think, Rune, right, you filled your little lantern, your little can full of this fluid because you sensed it might be flammable based on your experience as a Aurifex. And what else? You guys found some gold. I don't think did anybody take the chainmail? Anybody put that on?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
I didn't. I think someone did though.
Maybe it was it Ash? We gave it to Ash, maybe? I don't remember.
We did. We gave it to Ash.
Okay. So Ash, just so you know, you got a fancy shirt of chainmail if you want to use it. And
ooh, thank you.
Yeah. And then after that, you guys headed south, following the stench of death. And on their journey, you made it to the bog, or the fens. They're called the Downs. Yeah, that's right. The Downs here. And you found a body. A body that you believe belongs to Aldra, the missing butcher. But you're not quite sure. His heart has been completely torn from his chest. And then you also found a small little barrow-like hill kind of thing, and you went to investigate, and you found some steps leading down into darkness. One thing I'll remind you guys if you forgot is the stairs are made of this kind of bluish black alloy or stone. You can't quite tell. It's very seamless. You've never seen anything quite like it. But curiosity hasn't killed the cat yet, because you guys made your way down there. You found kind of an entryway with three sculptures. And you didn't really know what those were about. And so you kind of moved on and found yourself in this room right here. And this room has a few items of interest. The first one being this pottery over in the corner here. So you see this pottery just kind of stacked up against the wall. And you also, I believe Sparrow might have searched this already, but it's a pile of papers, and there's actually some strange eggshell fragments there as well. And on this wall, there are these seams. So as you've been looking around the ground and the walls, everything's kind of seamless, but you see these strange seams on the wall. There's also a passage heading south and one heading to the east, which I guess you guys can see some kind of odd looking organic something. It's kind of difficult to tell from here, but your torchlight is reaching that far. It appears to be kind of this like growth or pod or something like that sitting in that direction. But it's very quiet in here. It's very cold. It's very earthy smelling. And that's where we're going to begin tonight.
It looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid nest.
Maybe. That's the twist. Cabbage Patch Kids.
They come from nests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea.
They're from gardens.
Oh.
Like cabbage patches.
Cabbage Patch. Oh, let me also remind you guys. So in Cairn, and anybody watching, there's a dungeon procedure. And so the way it works, much like combat, is you declare what you want to do, and then we just have everything happen simultaneously. So it's less freeform in that I know a lot of times we play these games and you guys are just kind of, some people take more turns, some people take less turns, it doesn't matter, it's just kind of an organic thing. But this actually, you guys declare, every time you come to a new location, you declare what you'd like to do, and you get to see that action unfold. And per the rules, when you spend more than a full turn in any one location, there's a potential dungeon event that might happen. So it could be a random encounter, could be a clue, could be nothing at all. But just so you guys know, it's kind of a, I don't want to call it a ticking clock, but it's a methodology, I think, that's in place to kind of keep the ball rolling. So speaking of that, since we'll just start right here, what would you guys like to do? And we'll just say that Matt's last turn, or whoever investigated these papers, was just like a different turn. We'll just leave it at that, just to keep it clean.
Okay. I think Sparrow, looking at those papers, she was checking them out. She's looking at the weird eggshells that were inside, and she is, her eyes drift along the wall to the seams that are against this wall. And so I think she wants to go and check those out, maybe investigate to see if it's like a hidden door or a blocked off passageway or something like that.
Okay. Well, while you're looking through the papers, are you kind of taking your time? Is that what you'd like to do for your turn? Or do you want to just give it like a cursory glance and then kind of move over to the wall?
Yeah, it was more of a cursory, like she was meant to over there with the intention of looking more carefully at it. But as soon as she got there, she kind of, her eye caught on the wall, and she kind of was like, I'm going to look at this first.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be doing that. What is everybody else doing? And then we'll come back to Sparrow, and we can kind of just, this whole thing will unfold.
Erasmus is going to head to the east.
Okay.
He's not even going to mention it to anybody, really.
You're just going to start aimlessly walking that way? Okay.
Yeah, he's wandering that way.
Okay. So what about Ash and Rune?
I'm interested in these pots of cabbage, whatever they are.
Okay, so you're going to wait, you said you're going to investigate, you're going to follow Erasmus, or you're going to check out the pottery? Yeah, okay. All right, then. No. Ash.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Anybody, if you guys need, I'm here. So another thing in Cairn that Cairn emphasizes is that I give you as much information as possible. So if I'm not describing enough, or you want like a recap, or you're like, is there anything else in this room that you didn't mention? Like, let me know. And I'm happy to give you as much information as possible.
Are there any like footprints or anything like that to indicate maybe someone else has gone through here recently?
No, so you kind of look around, and really the floor is kind of relatively clean. It's made of this, I shouldn't say clean, but it's there's not a lot of dirt. There's not any dirt really to be, to create footprints or anything like that. So there's really no indication. If you want to spend like your entire turn kind of really meticulously looking for it, then we can see if you find anything. But that's up to you, unless you want to do something else, and that's just kind of like a quick question.
Yeah, I think what Ash is going to do is he's going to spend his time trying to search for just any indication of, traps or anybody, possibly have gone through here before him.
Okay.
He's a little paranoid, so.
Okay. So we'll start back to Sparrow now that we know what everybody's doing. So Sparrow, you make your way to these seams, and you see them. They're very, very faint. They seem to be so thin that you couldn't even fit a blade inside. They're just these like hairline seams, but you can tell they're not a crack because they're very symmetrical, very clean. Also, there's really no indication of any kind of decoration or weathering on the walls.
Okay. Is this the opportunity where I could do something?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. That's kind of what you're doing.
That?
That's kind of what you're doing. So if you want like to do anything more as part of that search, then yeah, you can do that. Because these are kind of like, it's not like combat action where it's like, oh, I swing a sword or I do something like that. It can be a little bit more in depth.
So I'm gonna run my fingertips across the seam and kind of like try to like, and then like kind of go along the wall looking for anything that might be I don't know, no, I guess maybe something like a button or anything that might be something that could if this is a passageway, might unlock it or open it. And I'll finish like doing that with my hands, and I will give that portion of the wall a little bit of a push to see if it moves at all.
Okay.
I'm really just like testing all different like aspects of this space to see if anything that I do changes it in any way. Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So you kind of start pressing and prodding around, and you're careful too, right? I mean, you're making sure nothing is trapped. And you can't really discover a way to open this thing. You're kind of pushing, testing, maybe using some tools to check the seams. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really that indicates how this might open.
Okay.
All right. So next up, Erasmus.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys all see this. So Sparrow's going over checking the seams. While this is going on, you're heading off to this room over here. And what you see inside are these absolutely enormous fungal growths. And you see 3 of them. And as you're looking around, you see that all of them but one have completely burst open. So these look like, something came out of them.
Any tracks?
So you're going to try to look for, I guess, prints of some kind? Maybe some of the goo got left behind or whatever?
Trail of slime.
Yeah, you don't see anything. Yeah.
He'll walk closer into there. Like he'll be in this room. And he's definitely looking around, and especially at that one that I'm right next to that hasn't.
Yeah, this is the one that hasn't burst. It's the largest. You can see the surface kind of pulsating.
Oh.
Yeah. So these 2, it looks like it's been some time that they've burst open, and well, if that's exactly what happened or whatever was inside came out of it, but this one here is intact. It's pulsating. It's swollen. It's much bigger than the others.
Erasmus is going to see that Rune is also coming, down that entryway. He's going to put his hand on the sack and kind of like feel it pulsing.
Okay.
And he's going to just tell Rune, there's something inside for sure. I think it's something living.
Well, that's Good.
No. Can Milky go through and see what's inside?
Hmm.
Oh, that's a good use of Milky, huh? But then you gotta add some fatigue if you want to do that. But yeah, this is so. I guess we'll migrate then to Rune's turn. So Rune, you have the opportunity to do a full action.
Yeah, maybe I will have Milky check it out.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna have Milky just walk through, and you are going to share her senses.
Yeah.
So make sure to mark a fatigue. And as Milky passes through this, you see this lizard-like humanoid thing just kind of basically in the fetal position.
Do I recognize it?
No,
Like,
you've never seen anything
creature?
you've never seen anything like this before.
Hmm.
But it's humanoid, kind of in the fetal position. I mean, you've seen you know enough about stuff to know that you being working in a lab and all that. You've seen some unborn fetuses. This one looks like it's pretty ready to go.
Hmm.
So you can see like very definitive scales all over its body. You see some musculature. You see teeth formed. You see eyes.
All right, Milky, get out of there.
Okay.
So it looks like some kind of lizard creature, and it is ready to burst out at any second. So we should probably get out of here.
Well,
Okay.
what if it imprints on us, and then we're its parents?
I'm not looking for a child at this point in my life, but you're welcome to be its father, and I'm gonna step away.
She runs
Okay.
away.
So while this is going on, we'll move back to Ash. And sorry, Ash, remind me, what is it you were doing? You were just kind of taking a look around, or?
So yeah, Ash was kind of looking to see if there was any indication of like tracks.
Oh, that's right.
Throughout
That's right.
the room.
That's right. So I'll say you spend a good amount of time on your hands and knees, just really inspecting stuff. You being incredibly familiar with tracking creatures and stuff, you do find some very, very, very subtle disturbances with the fine particulate of dust. It appears like there's been some fine dirt possibly tracked in from the bog and dried. And you can see some prints. You see a mix of what looks like boot prints, but then you also see these strange, I guess you would imagine them, I don't know if you've ever seen any giant lizard creatures, but it looks like a reptilian claw, but large, to where this thing would be man-sized or human-sized. And they're kind of going in every direction in a way. There's no real like path. It just appears that there's been some traffic in this area that is both the sole of a boot and some kind of reptilian creature.
Knowing that, Ash is going to move over here.
Beeline.
To everybody else, and I'm trying to think.
Well,
I think he's gonna
go ahead.
Oh
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's gonna start investigating the pulsating sack.
Okay, so while you're walking into the sack room, as we'll call it, Sparrow, you find yourself. We'll kind of come back around the top of the virtual table, and we'll kind of again do the same thing where everybody's going to establish what they want to do, and we'll have it unfold. So Sparrow, you find yourself alone in this room. You hear the soft footfalls kind of leading away behind you, and you see all of the rest of your party in this other room where these strange like fungal sacks are.
So I don't think Sparrow wants anything to do with that. Whatever is going on over there.
Okay.
She's kind kind of watching everybody, but is going to start moving kind of towards this southern passage, and is like looking down like into the darkness. It seems probably no light.
Oh yeah, who has the torch? Is it Erasmus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, if she would go ahead and light a torch, then she has some torches.
Okay.
So she might get to this point and be like kind of straining her eyes, looking into the darkness of this passage running south, and go, and pull out a torch, and we'll light it to kind of like see what's down there.
Okay, so if I didn't mention it, yes, this place is completely dark with the exception of your torches. You did notice some strange sconces in the entryway, but there was nothing there. Okay, so Sparrow, you make your way south, and I'll let you move all the way down as you carefully travel, and make sure to turn your torch on.
Yeah, I didn't have a.
Oh no! Is the hang on?
There's a few things different on.
Let me do it. Let me do a quick
today.
fix. I think what happened was Foundry updated. I'm running version 13 right now, and it's like wildly different. So I may have to enable some stuff. But let me just
briefly...
I
noticed that the tokens are spinning like in the direction we're moving, which is I really like.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool.
And then it also, if you move, it tells it immediately tells you how far you're moving. Like it pops up and tells you the distance that you're moving, which I don't remember being there before either.
No, we always had to use the ruler to measure it out first.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I thought you guys were doing that, but that's interesting that it's automatic. Okay, so let me 40, 20. I'm just going to give you a light source on your token.
Okay.
And we'll just do it like this for now to keep it moving.
So I'll get down to the end, and then like I get to a corner and peek around to my left and see that the passage continues, it looks like.
Yeah, okay. So let me move this down. Yeah, you look like you're ablaze with torchlight right now. So yeah, I'll say you can make it all the way down and you find another room. So if you want to keep moving, it's up to you though. If you want to be like, oh, I'm getting too far away, I think I'll head back.
If I don't see anything, I might go ahead and there's no light in this room either?
No, pitch black.
All right, so yeah, I keep my torch lit and I would move closer to see if I can see anything in that room.
Yeah. So just keep moving. All the way down, and your torchlight spills into this room, which is... So you see, in the very center of this square-shaped room is a square-shaped well. That's what it appears to be anyway. It's standing at, I believe, about waist high. And you see it's just piled with like strange stones that you've never again seen before. It's not any kind of architecture or masonry that you've seen. And then against the back wall, you see that there are these nozzles sticking out of the wall, almost like spigots. And then you can very faintly see, because you are pretty far away, you can very faintly see that there appears to be beneath the spigots in the floor these grates that are probably, if you had to guess, drains.
Okay.
But that's what you see.
Okay. So yeah, I think that, torch up, I'm kind of looking in the room. I don't see anything moving.
Yeah.
In here.
Dead quiet. Nothing's going on. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess that would be my turn.
Yeah, that's your turn.
A pretty good amount of investigation.
Okay, cool. So we'll move back up to everybody else. I think it was Erasmus whose turn was next. So, and I guess I totally screwed that up. We'll briefly go through what all of you guys want to do, and we'll have a play out. I think you're muted, Erasmus.
Erasmus will, those who are close to him, you'll kind of see for the first time that he gets a much more serious expression on his face. And he unsheathes the dagger from his waist. And he's gonna place the torch on the ground and he's gonna try to drive this dagger as far deep into the casing as he possibly can. After Rune describes what was in there.
Okay, so that's what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Ash and Rune, what are you guys gonna do?
I was leaving.
Oh, that's right. You were taking off. So you were I'll say that you did see Sparrow head south, head down the south corridor right when you were re-entering the room you left.
Yeah, I'm gonna head towards Sparrow.
Okay, so just so you know, it's darkness down there. I'll
But
say
I see
you can
her
see,
light, right?
yeah, you can see some faint torchlight flickering, so you can follow that if you like. So you make your way all the way down there, and you see exactly the same thing. So you see a square-shaped well that's about waist high, center of the room, spigots coming out of the walls and drains. But there's no movements, nothing else that you can see or hear at this time. And what's Ash up to while Rune heads off?
Ash is going to be investigating the sack. He's never seen anything like this in the woods, and so he's kind of like maybe a few inches away from it, from his face, and not realizing just how close he was to Erasmus. The dagger is just going to kind of go and, right next to his face and splash a little bit of whatever is in there.
Okay, so you're just kind of getting a great look. Yeah, it appears to be, if you had to guess, fungal in nature. This entire just pod, whatever it is. And you already know about Rune. You were there when Rune talked about the lizard and stuff. So you're just, I guess, fascinated because you've never seen anything quite like it. And Erasmus, you bring your dagger down. Ash is not paying any attention. The skin of this thing just splits wide, and the first thing you see, Ash, is this lizard-like face, these eyes opening up, these pupils opening wide, getting their first glimpse at life, and the maw of teeth opens up, ready to clamp down.
Oh, hello there.
So let me grab... There we go. So you got this lizard-like creature spilling out into this room. And I guess you guys are in combat now.
Mm-hmm.
So, combat time. All right. So everybody... I'll just say everybody's at the ready. Everybody's seeing what's going on. This lizard creature, this hatchling, is kind of just gathering itself. It's not quite sure what's going on. So why don't you guys, both of you, roll me a dex save, and we'll see if you guys get to do an action this turn. Okay, Erasmus failed with a 19. And Ash failed with an 18. Okay, so you guys lose your turn. You guys are caught unaware, which makes complete narrative sense here. But I believe after the first round, so this thing is going to just lash out at, I guess, the first thing that he sees, which would be Ash's face, just very, very close to this pod, and it swings its claws at you. Okay, and you take 6 points of damage. And don't forget to subtract the armor value that you have
Oh,
of your HP. So, did you ever don the chainmail, or did you just have it?
I put it on.
Well, it's
last week, Ash. You should be wearing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in bold, so yes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 2 armor. So you're going to suffer 4 points as these claws of this lizard lash at you. But
Ash
thankfully,
doesn't have most of a face anymore.
oh dang! So you have, and just as a reminder, so HP, I know we think of it often as hit points. It's hit protection, meaning it's not necessarily every time something hits you. It's your ability to avoid taking damage, because once you start taking damage, it starts coming out of strength. That's kind of your pool, basically. Okay, so now you guys get to go because we're in the second round. You no longer need to roll a dex save. So whichever one of you guys want to go first, you are welcome to.
I'll definitely try to stab it with my dagger.
Okay, go for it. Why don't you roll me just your attack? And remember, there's no attack rolls in this. It's just damage only.
Why won't it let me? I'll just roll a d6 manually. Uh-oh. Where's the...
Oh, it's missing the... Man, hang on. Let me... Apologies, stream and the future. Let me just really quickly add all these modules back because it decided to remove them all.
Also,
Right,
while you're doing that, just for clarification, for combat, does everybody have to do it? Do you go through the turns of people saying what they want to do and then all the actions happen?
Yeah. So this is all, yeah, if you think of it, it's like all of a simultaneous thing that's going on right now. Okay. All right, let me see if this works. This might reset Cairn. Let's see what happens here. Looks like it refreshed it. Yes, did that work? I don't hear.
The music came back for me.
Music came back. Do you guys have everything? The dice?
The
okay,
roll,
cool.
Yeah, the roll damage thing popped up. It wasn't on my character sheet for a second there.
We're back. We're back. Okay, awesome. Sorry for the hiccup. Okay, so 4. So yeah, you rake this dagger across the scales of this creature.
And Erasmus yells out, "Ash, get out of here now!"
So yeah, Ash, it's up to you. This thing shrieks out in pain as its yet to be hardened scales get cut.
Yeah, Ash is gonna crawl back a few feet. He was taken aback, so he's probably not gonna be able to make it too far.
So you start running. If you're trying to escape, why don't you give me a dex check? Because this lizard spots you in the corner of its eye.
Oh no.
Sees you running away, so you make it a little bit down, but it also is going to snap its teeth at you as you try to run away. And then you're going to take another 3.
So 1.
Ooh.
So 1.
So
yeah.
I'm at 0 HP.
Ooh, 0 HP. What that means, let me grab the rule book, because I'm forgetting. I believe you got a roll on a table.
I've been here.
Yeah, I know. There was kind of a in a past life, in a parallel dimension. You had to do that. So really quickly, because I'm very new to this game. So when you do take damage of exactly 0, that means how much HP did you lose? So there's a cool little scars table right here. And what was it? 1 point of damage or 2?
1.
Okay, so we rolled its lasting scar. So what I need you to do for me is roll a 1d6. Okay, 1. So you have an awesome scar. So I guess this thing tried to bite you right in the neck. So now you're going to have a really cool lizard bite scar on your neck. But also, I need you to roll another d6 for me.
This is the one where I get cool superpowers, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it says if the total is higher than your max HP, take the new result. I'm guessing a 2 is not higher than your max HP, right?
It is not.
It is not, unfortunately. So you do have a... So this thing leaps up into the air, bites into your neck while you're running away. You make it into the hallway, but you're bleeding, and you're just kind of, you know, you slap your hand to it to kind of staunch it. Okay, I guess we'll just quickly go to Sparrow and Rune. So while all this ruckus is going on up here, you guys hear that. So you guys are standing down looking into this well room, the flickering torchlight, and this is the first time you've heard noise. And you hear snarling, you hear screeching, you hear yelling, and it sounds like your party members are in trouble.
So I think that Sparrow will look at Rune and say, we need to get back. And she's going to drop the torch on the floor. Like leaving it here.
Oh, you're just going to leave it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's going to pull both daggers and start running back towards the...
Okay. Yeah, we'll just bring you guys into combat now since it's pretty obvious. So then you and Arun will both go, and that'll be part of the same round. So yeah, you drop your torch, you start running, you see torchlight gleaming across the floor, and you see Ash running toward you, holding his neck. You see blood coming from between his fingers, and that's about as far as you can go. You kind of like basically doubled your movement. So Rune,
Okay.
what do you want to do?
Just so I can see.
Okay.
I guess I'll do the same, but I'll grab my needle knife. And
Okay.
try to get it.
So yeah, you're trailing Sparrow, and you see the same thing. You see Ash running. You see the flash of reptilian claws and teeth, and you see Erasmus standing there. I guess his torch burning on the ground. So I'm gonna say he already went. So you guys all went. He went. So we'll be at a new round. So you guys can go in any order you like, because after the dex check, which you guys don't need anymore, you guys first, monster second.
Hash is gonna try to bind the monster with his Bryavine,
Okay, so you're gonna turn around,
like arms to the side. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you describe really quickly how this thing works?
So the Bryavine entangles any creature up to horse size.
Okay.
He's not bigger than a horse, right?
No. Human. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a hatchling, but he's, I don't know, what do you call it? Adolescent size? Teen size?
Toddler.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna kind of like lasso over the top of him, throw it, and he's gonna try to bind it in its arms to its side.
Okay. So this thing, it should automatically work. I don't believe there's a roll attached to it, just because like everything in this game, it's just auto hit. So yeah, you what's the penalty? Do they have to roll a strength check or something to get out?
I believe it is a strength check. Yes.
Okay. So on their turn, they'll have to roll. Yeah, so you turn around quickly. You kind of rush forward enough steps to have that to shorten the distance, and you wrap this thing around your rope and your whip. So what about the rest of you guys? What do you want to do? I know I keep flubbing this up. I'm so used to normal, like, person by person, but we should be all moving simultaneously.
You foul beast! I'm gonna end you. And I'm gonna try to just stab it again.
Okay, so you're doing that. What about Sparrow and Rune?
I think Sparrow will run forward, like, to the point where she can see Erasmus and not Erasmus, Ash and his leash or whip, whatever.
His whip, yeah, his bramble whip or whatever.
Rope.
Yeah.
Bryavine.
It's a
is going
vine.
to follow that, going and trying to attack with both of her daggers at the creature that is wrapped in it.
Yeah, you can you can make it up there. What about Rune? What are you doing as Sparrow darts off toward this lizard creature?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay, so the way it works
Dagger.
in this game is everybody's attacking
yeah.
the same opponent. So all of you guys roll your damage, and then whichever the highest result is the one that hits. So there's a 2 for Erasmus. Okay, that's a 5. That's pretty good, unless you roll a 6. Oh, another 5. Okay, so you cut this thing down, and it hisses, and just gouts of blood start pouring out of it. And let me do the math here, because I remember. So once you get below 0, you have to immediately make a strength save. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, that's a fail with a 19. So you cut this thing to the ground, and it dies. But as you guys are collecting yourselves, the vine is still wrapped around it. Actually, I probably should have gave you guys a... I should have gave you an enhanced attack, because he is bound. In case anybody's watching. I just thought of it, so you don't need to call me out in the comments. So as you guys are doing all this stuff, you hear more snarls echoing, coming from the southern corridor. Erasmus, you hear those the best since you're in that room, and you hear just the slamming of feet on stone coming your direction.
He's gonna take out his sling, and he's got a stone in it, and he's twirling it, and he says, "We got more coming. They're coming up now. We better."
Should we leave? We found another room with a well, and to the south.
Is it a dead end or?
Yeah. I don't think that. I don't know. It looks like, just from what I can see, when I was in that room, I was shining the lantern or the torch in it. There, it looks like maybe a door right here, down in the well room.
Where are you pointing? Are you clicking somewhere?
Yeah, right down here.
Oh, okay. I mean, you didn't see anything.
Is that something?
You saw maybe... Hang on, let me see what it says, if it says anything at all. You saw some more seams that looked very similar to the ones in the previous room.
I think that Sparrow would say it looked like a dead end to me, except for there was a big well in the floor.
So yeah, you guys have to act quick. So are you guys going to stay and fight, or are you guys going to bail, or you do something else? Because these
Ash is
fast approaching.
Ash is not in the best condition to fight, but that's never stopped him before.
I say we bail. Erasmus will stay towards the back of the party.
Okay. Is everybody else
I
bailing
agree.
as well?
Yeah, Sparrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you
So,
guys
yes,
are just
I
kind
agree.
of...
We should get out of here.
And you guys are running back, basically just back to the entrance?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since you guys aren't formally in combat, I'm not going to require any kind of dex save, and you guys safely make it back to the entrance, out into the light. And when you guys crawl up to the surface of the bog, let me change the map really quick here.
There are 5 lizard men waiting for us.
There's more. Oh, maybe I should change the tune. Out of combat. You guys go outside, and it's dusk, so it's getting dark. Sorry, getting used to the new Roll20, not Roll20, the new Foundry. Where is my map? Here we go. Activate. There we go. No, wrong one.
I forget. Are lizards nocturnal?
Why is this not working?
They like this.
No.
They're cold.
Why? This is so weird. Why it's not Twin Lakes activate? There we go. That's what I wanted to do. This new, if you guys out there are using Foundry V13, it's more streamlined, but it's a little trickier than it used to be in terms of the scene management. I'll get the hang of it. So yeah, you guys, you're actually down. You guys are more like right here. You kind of scatter out onto the boggy surface. Clouds are gathering overhead. You see the twilight tones across the sky, reflecting off the river in the distance. What would you like to do?
Do we still hear footsteps coming into towards us?
You can't hear anything at the moment, no.
Most lizards are diurnal, so we might be okay.
I don't know what that means, but I like the sound of okay. We might be okay.
Diurnal, like things that like to wander around during the day. That's diurnal.
Oh, okay. Sparrow is going to walk over to where the body of the fellow that we were looking for.
Yeah, so you guys hid the body that you found across the way, right off the path where there's
Aldra,
some trees and stuff. Yeah. So you guys make your way out of the bog. You're getting mud all over your boots, but you make it. And the body is still there, untouched.
Should we carry this back to town?
Oh, absolutely.
So I guess Sparrow might take off her cloak. If there's the longer kind of cape part of it, and she might use that to wrap the body in to make it easier to carry, so we're not having to figure that whole thing out.
Is one of you kind of throwing the body over your shoulder? Or are you carrying it? Are you dragging it like litter style, or what do you think?
Exactly how much of the body is left? Is it most of it?
Yeah, it's most of the body. Its chest has been, torn open though, and it's missing its heart. And he's a big guy too, so he's not like a little scrawny guy, or he was a big guy.
I think if we lay my cloak out on the ground and then move the body on top of it and then kind of wrap it like a burrito, and then maybe two people take one end bunched up, we could probably just carry it with two people.
Yeah,
we could do that.
What's
a burrito?
Oh, I don't know what city Sparrow's from, but she might say, "Oh, you've not been to that city, have you?"
I suppose not.
Should you ever visit, I will introduce you to the burrito. It's a delicacy.
Sounds like a tummy ache.
Well, I mean, this is the worst burrito you could imagine. My cloak with a corpse inside. Normally, burritos are very, very good.
Ugh. Necrotic.
You're gonna have to trust me until I can prove it to you.
Well, very well.
Okay, so you guys figure you could probably make it back to Isthmus Town by nightfall. It's about let's just say it's about an hour-ish walk. North or south, whichever way you want to go.
South.
Yeah, south.
Okay.
I don't know if we get too close to the forest, if we might encounter more of those cats.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys head south along the path. This is the path you have not yet taken yet.
Real quick question: are there no boats?
No, you don't see it on the lake. It's very, very just, a pristine wilderness. It's not like there's a lot of. I would say maybe there would have been some off the, directly east and west of Isthmus Town, but over here there's nothing.
But not all the way where we're at.
Yeah, this isn't like a very populated area. The only people you've seen is in Isthmus Town, so they're probably going to keep mostly there.
It's a legit village, not really so much a town.
Yeah,
type of deal?
exactly. Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
small. So you guys head south along the path with this body. It's interesting how it turns. It's like you guys are dancing. You do on the way. You can see a circle of houses. This appears to be the farmstead that was spoken of. And I'll just quickly show you guys what you see off the side of the road. Oh, I gotta move your tokens in here, I guess. One moment. I'll put you guys on the road. And who's carrying the body, by the way? The strongest individuals?
None of us are really strong. I bet we all kind of took turns dragging it.
Okay, so you guys are still walking along the path that's just right along East Lake. And you come to a thin circle of these ramshackle homes. And they're built relatively near each other, some of them anyway. But you can kind of get sense, there's a small dock. So you can sense that there's been some, so it's had some use. There's some fishing. There's no boats docked there, however.
Mm-hmm.
It appears as a lot of these homes have been either abandoned or they've given up fishing entirely. But this is what you see just from the road without closer inspection.
Do we see any people or any lights on?
No, yeah, oh yeah, shit, right? I should probably make it dark. I'll say you see, yeah, some very, very faint lights coming from a couple of the houses. So let me darken this place. Let's use Foundry's day-night thing. There we go.
I don't know if we should stop. I'm thinking we should probably continue to town.
I agree. What do you think, Ash, Rune? Are you tired? Do you need to rest in one of these eerily empty buildings, or should we just keep moving on?
My
I
neck
feel
stopped
fine.
bleeding. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I feel fine, but he's not looking too good.
Well, my neck stopped bleeding, but I'm not sure if that's because I ran out of blood.
I forgot to mention, sorry. You can, so HP, you can just roll that again. I could say you guys took a brief rest, maybe while they were getting the body situated, Ash, so you can be full of HP again.
Oh, then never mind. Yeah, I know. I feel great.
Yeah, really in this game, so remember, when you're starting to lose strength, that's when things are looking bad.
Right.
That's when you're really getting wounded. So HP is really, again, it's more like stamina. I'd say that's probably the best way to equate it. It's like how long can you stay up without suffering damage? And then once you start suffering damage, you have to make, if you go below 0, then it goes into strength, and then you have to make a strength save. And if you succeed in that, you're still on your feet. But if you fail, you're basically on the ground dying. So it's pretty brutal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are standing here. There's a cool breeze off the lake, billowing your cloaks, those of you who are wearing some. You see this kind of, the circle of these homes out here, possibly part fishing village. You kind of catch a glimpse of maybe a little bit of farmland behind one of them, but that's kind of all you can see from here.
I think we should continue.
Okay.
Try to make it to town.
All right. So yeah, you guys make it to town. Activate. Oh yeah, I should probably turn the lights off here too. So yeah, you guys make it all the way back to town with this body. You do see some lights on at the inn. Probably should have prepped some lights. What'd you like to do? You guys are kind of exhausted carrying, those of you, I guess, who are carrying this body.
I could really use a drink, but I suppose we need to find a proper place to store the body.
Well, should we maybe take it to the inn and then maybe somebody run to the butcher and get what's her name? Fetch Flavia and let her know that we found her husband and it's not great news.
Who would be the best to break that news?
I
could do it.
Okay.
I have a way with people.
Okay, yes, you do it. You do it.
So we will bring the body to the inn, and if you wanted to grab Flavia and have her come back, Ash, thank you for doing that.
Should we prep the body in a way that it doesn't look like half of him is missing?
There's not much we can do. She's just got to confirm it's him, help us along the way, and then we get our money. And then I'm buying a drink.
Do we want the innkeeper to know what we're up to?
No.
Oh, then maybe we shouldn't stop at the inn. We should go on to the butcher shop instead.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do recall there is a stable at the inn as well. In case you wanted to drop.
Do we
the
see any
body
people
off.
outside? Because we probably want to avoid people.
No, yeah, everybody's inside. The streets are empty, completely empty. It appears as if everybody's kind of, retired to their homes.
Okay. So maybe we should just follow where Ash is going and bring the body all the way up to the house.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna go all the way up to the butcher shop with the body. So yeah, you guys approach the door. You see that upstairs there is a little light upstairs. Let's say. Where's upstairs? Let's say that's upstairs. Let me zoom in here. So yeah, there's a bit of a light shining in the upper window. You remember that is probably where you looked out of to look down and see the strange cellar door behind the stuffed inn. But yeah, you approach the door. You don't see any movement.
Ash is gonna throw a. Oh, I was gonna say Ash is gonna throw a pebble at the window.
He's gonna what? Oh, a pebble at the window up top.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, just kidding. All right. You're gonna stand there with a boombox over your head.
Yep.
Sign saying I found your husband.
Yeah, there you go.
He's dead. Just in the bottom of it.
Very fine print.
Yeah.
By the way.
So I think with the body, we might lay it down and then kind of maybe straighten it so that the cape is still covering it.
Yeah.
But it's clearly a body underneath just a thin layer of cloth. Like on the ground outside.
Like in front of the door, in front of the window. What do you guys think?
Like a little bit off so she doesn't like walk right into it, but like so that she can come outside and see that we're all standing around. Like we'll moisten our eyes, like try to make ourselves cry.
Busting out some onions.
Yeah.
Okay.
We found him.
Okay. So then, did you say you're knocking on the door? Did I miss that? Ash? Anybody knocking on the door or?
Yeah, we knocked.
Oh, Yeah.
Okay, so you knock on the door. You hear some movement on the inside. You hear the thump 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 of feet coming downstairs, and you see some movements in the window, and then it appears that she's recognizing you, even though it's very dark outside, and she kind of peeks through the door. What are you doing out at this hour? It's dangerous.
Well, it's a matter of great importance. We found him.
He's gonna look down at that point.
So yeah, right when you say we found him, she kind of lights up. She's very excited.
Whoa. Don't get excited.
So Sparrow's gonna say, "Hang on," and then she looks down at this burrito that you guys have. Or did you unwrap it, or is it still wrapped up?
No, he's still wrapped up. He's still underneath.
So yeah, she looks down at this Aldra burrito and just kind of, what did you find? I don't understand. Did you find his belongings? Is that what this is? He didn't wear a cloak like that. Well,
the cloak is mine. It was all that we had to be able to carry him back with. And I look at her like, do you get it?
She kind of looks to each. She looks at you, Sparrow, and then looks to each of you for confirmation. And she does appear to get it, and she just collapses. She falls where she's standing, just completely overtaken.
Try to catch her.
Okay, yeah, you catch her, and she's just sobbing. She holds on to you, Ash, like you're a brother or a friend, almost just kind of in her own tangle of misery right now. So she's just weeping into you and kind of mumbling things you can't quite make out. And then she, almost like in a fit of anger, she kind of tears herself away from you and pushes you away and starts cursing you, all of you, and then goes down to the body and starts, taking the cloak off, and then finally she, are you guys kind of letting her do her thing? Okay. So she removes this cloak. Then she sees the gruesome display of this man with his chest wide open. And she just falls on her backside and kind of just pushes herself against the side of the house. And then doesn't know what to do. She just seems like she's in absolute shock right now.
Well, you don't need to mess up my cloak. I mean, you just be careful. It was expensive.
Yeah,
it's very nice of me to do this. Okay.
You're being very sporadic, and now you're gonna have to live with the rest of your life having seen that wound on him. Listen, we're sorry, but this is how we found him.
And we don't know who in this town, what secrets the other people that live in this town might hold. You said that your husband was suspicious. We did not take him to the inn. Nobody else knows but you who could have done something like this. But where we found him, there was very strange things happening.
It's quite dangerous.
So she's you don't know if she's hearing you or not, because she's staring at the ground as you guys are speaking. She's not looking up at any of you, and she kind of pushes herself up by one of the structural elements of this building and gets to her feet and kind of stands with her chest puffed up, and she shakes her head with her mouth closed. It's not him. It's not him. I know it's not him. It looks nothing like him. It's not what I remember. This is someone else.
What?
And then she goes
Did we
inside
just-
and slams the door.
Look, she's in complete denial. So he's a little extra bloated. He was laying in a swamp. Like, that happens.
Wait. Are we sure that this was him? That this was Aldra?
Well,
We
Or
didn't confirm.
did we just find and bring back a random body that we found and was like, this is him, now pay us?
Well, so he fit the description that you were given,
Okay.
more or less. So yeah, while this is going on, you hear footsteps approaching behind you,
it's the husband.
and you see psych, I'm not dead. So anyway, you guys hear footsteps coming from behind you, just crunching on the dirt path, and you see a lantern bobbing. And in the glow
Ash
of
is gonna
that,
cover the body.
okay, so you start doing that, and in the glow of the lantern, you see that it's the Reeves' face, and his brow is furrowed as if he's trying to figure out who's at the edge of his lantern light. And he just says, "Who goes there?"
Is that Reeve Trellis I hear? It is the 4 patrons of your tavern.
Rune's gonna step in front of the body, kind of trying to hide it as best she can.
Okay. Yeah, you guys
Erasmus
are.
is gonna sit on it.
So you guys are. He kind of stopped a little bit away. You know, he kept his distance, but you guys are sort of just right at the edge of his lantern light. And when you say this, he kind of comes a little bit closer. Oh, what are you doing out at this hour?
Well, we came by to report, kind of how our dealings around here are going. We wanted some meat from the butcher. You got any more of that wacky tobacco?
He
Erasmus
seems.
pulls out his pipe.
Yeah, he seems kind of taken aback. Yes, but I feel like we should probably enjoy that inside, don't you think?
Yeah, I need a drink.
Did Drum take care of your rooms for you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he
okay.
sure
Good.
did.
Good. Well then, come out of the night. Just follow me. He doesn't seem to notice your guys' because you covered up the body, and he's not really paying attention to the. Because
Erasmus is gonna look at the party and kind of give them the look of like, deal with that, and he's gonna quickly catch pace with the Reeve, and he's gonna be waving his pipe around and just saying, "There's really nice landscapes around here," and he's just making chit chat.
Okay. Yeah, you
guiding
definitely
him back towards the end.
Yeah, you definitely distract him. You guys had kind of a bit of a. You guys hit it off pretty well the first time with the pipes, and so he just leads you back to the stuffed inn. So while this is going on, what are the rest of you three doing?
We should probably bring the body into our room, right? Can't just be out here with a body. Or
Maybe-
stables?
Maybe the stables might be a good place. Who should, if somebody dies in a small town like this, who would we check with? I mean, if we were in the city, we would, it would be whoever finds it. But there are offices that deal with things like this. I don't know what would happen in a small village like this.
So I would say, I guess, Erasmus isn't with you. But I'll say that you guys would imagine that it's probably more of a community fair. There's not really like a person like a mortician, let's say, specialized in this stuff. It's probably somebody dies, they just go bury them somewhere and do rites. That would be your guess. Okay. But you haven't checked every single home in this area, so it's possible.
It'd be
there is a church, right? Am I misremembering?
No, there's no church here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a kirk?
What's a kirk?
It's a very small church.
A Oh, like Dunkirk. No, there's no. I mean, well, you're not here, so.
I'm just being a smart ass. Ignore me.
Using some more old lingo on me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think that we should take them to the stable, and then perhaps we should let the boy that we met earlier, Drum, or we need to let somebody know that we found this body while we were while we were going around the lake, and when we brought them back here out of courtesy and respect for the village, not knowing who it was and that it might be somebody that was missing. We figured that they would want that to happen instead of us just leaving the body where we had found it. Does that sound reasonable?
I can agree with that.
All right. So Sparrow will again wrap the repackage this burrito and then pick up one end, and somebody grabs the other end, we can take it down to the stable.
Okay, yeah, you go to the stable, you find a horse and a cart there that you remember that Drum said belonged to Jandy, but now that Jandy is back.
Oh, Jandy would be maybe a good person to ask.
Yeah, so you guys make it there. There's nobody at the stable whatsoever, just the horse and the cart. And there's ample room for a body if you would like to stash it somewhere.
I don't know if maybe just one of the stalls, an empty stall in there, just lay it on the ground.
Okay.
And then go inside the tavern.
Okay. You guys go inside. And you find Erasmus and the Reeve having a chat, I guess. So while you guys are talking, Erasmus and or while you're talking, Erasmus, you see the rest of your party come inside, but they are lacking a burrito. And then the Reeve looks up. Took you long enough. So cold out there. So nice and toasty in here. And he kind of motions to a hearth. Drum, put on some more logs. We have guests. And then you see the Drum kind of amble out of the back area with some logs and kind of mumbling under his breath.
Hello, Drum. Thank you very much for that.
Of course, of course, of course. He's just kind of nodding and he's putting some logs in the fire and some sparks are shooting up.
I'll ask. I'll walk over to him and I'll ask. Tell me, has Jandi returned?
And you're asking the Drum or the
Drum?
Reeve?
Yeah.
Drum? No, I ain't seen him. Have you?
Is he staying here?
He's got a room, yeah. He just kind of went off and never showed up again. It's been days. Remember we talked about...
we found him.
Oh, where was he? I wonder why he didn't come back here.
He was up at the old mill. And
you found him where I told you to go.
Yes.
What was he doing there? What did you find?
He seemed to be exploring.
Did you see a ghost? Exploring?
No, I saw no ghosts, but we were attacked by wild nightcats.
Oh yeah, they're thick in those parts in the stone forest.
Yes, we managed to fight them off and escape, and Jandi said he was returning to town. So it's very concerning if he did not arrive.
Oh, he could be at my old auntie's. They like to talk long to the night drinking wine.
Okay.
She lives off to the shack just, east of town. Maybe he's over there. Crazy old coot.
I'd like to make sure that he made it back here safely, so I'm going to run over there really quick. And,
Sure. Help yourself.
And so I think that Sparrow will then
Start
walk back
heading
out
off.
the door.
Okay, so
Yeah.
while you're having this conversation and then ultimately walk out, what are the rest of you guys doing? So Erasmus, I guess you guys are sitting at a table or at the bar.
Smoking a pipe.
Rune smoking a pipe. Ash and Rune come in. Droon, he goes over. You see the Sparrow approach, have a conversation. Are you guys just joining Erasmus, or are you doing anything else?
Ash will join Erasmus.
Okay.
Yeah. Rune will too.
Okay, so you guys all join him in the bar on the bench, and he kind of rubs his hands together. Well, so what have you been up to? Been having a look around our beautiful lands, the lakes. Charming, no? I'm sure you don't see much of this where you're from. Anyway,
did find.
Oh, go on. Yes.
We found an interesting landmark. It was kind of like a tower. You know anything about that?
Oh, the old White Tower up north, right? That's what you're talking about? Surrounded by some trees, falling into ruin. I must be on the right track.
Yeah, we didn't get too close to it, but we could see it at a distance.
I don't know much about it. Maybe Jandy would if he ever comes back. He's the one that likes to walk around and take notes and look at things. I just do my best to make sure this town keeps in order.
This White Tower, it's common knowledge amongst all its people here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a beautiful path that surrounds the lake. We try to stay clear of the fens, though. I mean, it's you could one wrong step and might not end up so good for you. So some of the fellows say the fishing's better over there, but I prefer to stay right here where it's safe. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no good can come from walking around in a bog, am I right?
Absolutely.
So you just went up to the old tower, took a jaunt around the lake, that's it?
Pretty much.
Oh,
No.
all right.
The cricket that jumps in a puddle doesn't get back out, so...
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but it has a nice ring to it. I might use that one down the road. But anyway, I'm taking far too much of your time. I'm really glad you've enjoyed yourself in a very humble town here. I'm just going to go back to my office, get some work done, and turn in. Please seek out Drum if you need anything. He's working the late shift. Just don't rub it in. So you have a fantastic evening. I will see you in the morning, and I have something special cooked up. So hopefully you'll be hungry by then. And he kind of like clasps you guys all on the shoulders and kind of makes his way to the door at the back of the inn, of the common room.
Erasmus is immediately going to turn towards Ash and be like, "You think he's making burritos?"
I hope not.
Speaking of, is our egg in its nest?
The swallow has landed in the tree.
All right.
Yes.
Well, it's like speaking Erasmus's language now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cryptic roll table character trait is contagious, apparently. Okay, so I guess while you guys are, is there anything else you guys want to do, and then we can zoom over to Sparrow while she's heading over to Giva's house.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, so Sparrow, you make your way across the town to the small small building, the small abode where you left Jandy. And what would you like to do?
Are there lights on in the building as I
Yeah,
approach?
let me add another little light over here. So it's this guy right here. This little house over here. Yeah, so you go in, and the light is coming from a very small window. It's a very small, it appears to be just a single room shack. Not much space inside. There's a window. There's some very, very thin drapes going over the window, and you can see some light shining through it. And you can also see a couple of silhouettes against the fire.
Okay. I will walk up to the door, and I will kind of get close to it to see if I can hear voices.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you hear the very familiar kind of stammering, stuttering speech of Jandy, and then you hear the very quiet, calm, kind of shaky voice of what you would guess would be an old woman.
Okay. I will lightly knock on the door, and I will say, not looking to startle the people inside, but and then I might actually say, hello, close to it so they might be able to hear me.
Okay. So there's a pause, and then you hear some very quiet talking, as if they're trying to say stuff without you hearing, and then it sounds almost like a bit of a miniature argument, like a tiny argument, and then finally you hear very faint footfalls approach the door. Can I help you? Who is there?
Yes, hello. My name is Sparrow. I'm visiting the town and staying at the inn, and I was actually looking for a person named Jandy, who I was told might be visiting the person who lives here. Is Jandy there?
Oh, of course I'm here. So you hear this kind of bellowing, excited voice, and the door swings open. Well, I remember you. What are you doing out at this hour?
Well, we made it back to the inn, and I was hoping to see you there. And once I had heard that you had not returned, I grew worried, and I wanted to check and make sure that you had made it back from the mill okay. I worried for your safety.
Okay, yeah, you see this woman. She has a bit of a permanent scowl on her face, and you do recognize the resemblance. So Drum did tell you that Giva was his aunt, and you see kind of this this persistent sort of etched in somewhat of a scowl. It appears unfriendly at first, but then you can kind of sense a twinkle in her eye.
I think she'll look at Giva and will say, "I'm sorry to intrude at this hour, but I was really worried. I wanted to make sure that Jandy made it back. Town okay.
He's very okay, aren't you, Jandy?" And she kind of slaps his belly, and he's a little self-conscious about it. Well, why don't you come in? A friend of Jandy's is a friend of mine. I have plenty of wine here. Do you like wine? We can have a nice chat by the fire.
I do like wine, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, and I will walk in.
Okay, so you go in. It's a very small, indeed, like you saw from the outside. It's a single room house. And let me find the description really quick. There we are. Okay, yeah. So it's a very small single room shack. It's all composed of wood, but it's very weathered and old. You noticed also once we're on the inside, this appears to be much older in construction than the inn itself and any of the other buildings that you've come into contact with. But you notice when the door opens and she lets you in and the firelight spills upon it, it's the door is bright purple. So this is a very distinguishing feature. And you see also there's dried vegetation stuffed at the top of the door, almost like some kind of warding charm, something like that. You're not quite sure what it could be. But you do see a wood stove on the west wall, and there is a small bed tucked beneath the window on the north side. And you also see a kitchen, because again, this is like a studio apartment. It's only one room. There is a table set with 2 glasses and a wine bottle. And she goes and finds another chair and pulls it out for you. Oh, have a seat, will you, sweetheart?
Yes. Thank you so much. Your home is lovely.
Oh,
And
thank you.
she'll walk in and have a seat with them at the table if they sit down also.
Yeah, so you have a seat. She gets you a glass. She pours you some wine. So tell me, what brings you here other than Johnny? You see he's safe and sound?
Well, that is really the main reason. But while I'm here, I might as well. I do have some questions about things that myself and my companions found. And after we left Jandi, which I'm sure he told you what had happened about the attack from the night cats, we continued around the lake and we found the pale tower in the forest, and some strange
tower,
things
you
there.
say?
Yes, a tall white tower in ruin.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
She kind of looks a little. She's looking to the side as if she's searching for a memory, and she does a very small subtle hiccup, and now you're kind of seeing maybe she's a little bit inebriated, and just I think I used to play around there as a girl. Yeah, we would climb its walls and play games. What were you doing out there? And then Jenny says, "A tower? You didn't tell me about this, Kiva." And they kind of start arguing back and forth. "I was up at the mill. A tower, you say? Sparrow, tell me more, please."
Oh, it's easily visible from the path. You can see it peeking above the tops of the trees, just to the east of where the mill is, right along the path. It's not hidden at all.
Fascinating. I'll have to make my way there before I go back to the cities and take the tithing back.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten that you weren't from here and that you may not be familiar with everything.
Yes,
in this area.
I'm leaving in the morning, in fact. Got to take the money back to the cities.
I understand. Well, after investigating that, and she goes in and she will tell them everything. Like, I think that she'll just reveal that they found a body of somebody that they did not know. Maybe she won't mention the wounds on it, but she'll say that they found somebody. They found an entrance to what looked like the hill, the small hill, and that they went inside briefly and looked around. It was kind of strange inside, and then came back out and then brought the body of the villager back to town in case they didn't know if somebody was missing, and so they wanted to make sure that they were returned.
So as you kind of give her all the details of this tale, they both go pale in shock. And they look at each other as if they know who the body might be. Or at least they feel like they know who it might be by the look on their faces.
So seeing that look, Sparrow would ask, do you know who this might have been? Are they somebody from here?
And did you give them like you gave them like a really specific description of the man you found?
I think I would describe the person, but not describe
his open chest,
the missing heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a lot of the other stuff, the stuff inside of the hill, I kept very vague, almost like we did not find very much at all. We checked it out and then left immediately.
Okay, so Giva starts nodding. She's just, it sounds like poor Aldra. Oh, Flavia, she's going to be a mess, an absolute mess. What state was he in? Can you tell me that at least? Was he wounded? Was it bad?
It did look bad. Yes.
Oh,
and
dear.
It looks like he had been out there for a bit of time.
Oh dear.
So.
Oh no.
His body was not in the best
Well,
state, and it looked like animals may have
oh
gotten to
dear.
him. So we didn't want to leave him a second longer out there. So.
Where is the body, may I ask?
We did not know the best place to put him, being, not living in this town. So we took him to the stables. Outside
Stables. Oh dear. Have you spoke to Flavia about this?
We have.
Oh dear. How did that go?
We figured that she would want to know right away, so that she at least would not have to worry about what had happened. That she would have some sort of answers.
So she looks over to Johnny. Johnny, I'm going to Flavia's right now, and you can't stop me. And he just kind of holds his hands up like this. But then,
yeah, Sparrow does too.
she gets up from her chair, and she appears to be completely clear-headed now, and marches over with the vigor of youth out the door. Jandy, he's looking at you, and he's not sure what to do, if he should stay or should he go. And finally he decides to go and follow her, and you're left alone in the home. So now we'll rewind. We'll go back to, not rewind. We'll zoom over to Rune, Erasmus, and Ash. What are you guys up to?
Erasmus will take a big, long drag of his pipe, and he'll be like, so yeah, when you really think about it, the bigger of a bed you buy for your room, like, you have more bedroom, but then you have less bedroom at the same time.
I slept in a forest for most of my life.
You should come to the city sometime.
I don't like walls.
Fair enough.
Is the Reeve still sitting with us? Or
No, he left. Yeah, he excused himself and went to the back office.
I'm still very curious. Sorry, not to change the subject, but very curious about the cellar. Why does he keep going in the cellar? Why is it chained from the inside?
That would be something we can maybe look into tonight.
Yeah, so Drums, he's kind of cleaning tables, taking care of things. He kind of makes his way over to you guys. Hey, where did your friend go?
Oh, Sparrow?
Yeah, where'd she go?
Oh, a bird flies where it pleases. I couldn't tell you. The drink though here is good. Could I get another?
Oh, of course. Yeah, on the house. The Reeve told me anything you want, anything at all. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So he kind of goes, scurries behind the bar, getting some stuff.
Yeah, perhaps that's something we look into tonight, Rune. I could be kind of like a lookout. I don't know how long Drum is going to be, down here, but I could keep him distracted for you.
Yes, we might not get another opportunity.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so eventually he comes back with your drink and slides it across the bar to you.
Hey, Drum, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure. What do you need?
If you drop soap on the floor, does that make the floor clean or the bar of soap dirty?
He kind of looks up. Is this some kind of riddle? Are you making fun of me? Is that what this is?
It's more like it's an interesting inquiry.
All right. I'd say both. I would say simultaneously, right? I mean, the soap falls on the ground, and the ground is perhaps dirty or not. I guess if it's not dirty, then maybe it's all right. Maybe the full line. And he kind of starts scratching his head and kind of he's rolling around in his mind and getting more and more confused.
I'm trying to make him mentally tired.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna be up for about another hour or so, something like that, and I got to turn in after that. So is there anything at all you need? Anything else? It's getting kind of tired. The day is really catching up with me.
You know what? And I'm gonna slide him a gold over. Let me get just one more drink for Sparrow in case she comes back.
Oh, good idea. And he winks at you, and then he goes and fetches a drink for you. Okay, so is there anything you guys wanted to do before he retires? Because we can always make time go by quickly, and then Sparrow, I'm not sure if you wanted to return to the inn or do something else.
I have one more question for Rune.
Yeah.
Rune.
Yes.
Can you I don't know, I know you dabble in potions and stuff. And he's gonna take whatever mug or whatever it is of drink that's for Sparrow. You mind taking this back to the room and seeing if you could find out if there's anything in here? Because I find it really, really strange to have drinks on the house like this. They're a little too. They're being too hospitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's a good point.
It's a little suspicious.
It is.
So I'm gonna give her the extra cup of ale or whatever it is he gave us for her to kind of maybe look into and see if she could detect anything out of it.
Oh, the ale?
Mm-hmm. I want to know if I'm being drugged.
Oh, I see. No, I mean, you kind of test it, Roan, and you sniff it. You kind of maybe taste it a little bit on the tip of your tongue. It seems like normal ale.
I'll push it back to him and let him know.
Okay.
So I'm just being paranoid.
Yes, though I understand, but it seems as though he was just being friendly. I'm curious what this special thing he has cooked up for tomorrow morning is then.
I know. I just don't. I just have a general feeling of mistrust with them.
I know, me too. Something about that cellar and the chains.
Well, he said he's going to be gone in like an hour, so we'll find out then.
Did we see which way the main guy went?
Yeah, there's a door at the back of the common room that you discovered was his office when you sent Milky through. That's where he went.
Ah, right.
And then there's a staircase leading up to the second level where the rooms are.
Okay, so the Reeve is in his office, which is our access.
It's on the bottom floor, yeah, currently. So I guess we'll go to Sparrow. So Sparrow, as Giva and Jandy head out into the night, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take the opportunity where I'm alone in somebody's house, and I don't know if maybe Sparrow can't even help it, but she's gonna go and kind of look around and see if she sees anything in this very small one room building that might be interesting.
Might be interesting.
Yeah, she's not looking interested in like finding. She knows there's not going to be bags of gold in here or anything like that. But
the only thing, so as you kind of poke around, you find her stash of wine, and there's one bottle in particular that catches your eye. And again, you've been to enough taverns and stuff to have seen the finer things in life, especially when it comes to alcohol. And you notice that this particular bottle is a very valuable vintage. But other than that, there's really nothing of value. There's the bed, there's the table, there's some food and some pots and pans in the stove, but no jewelry, no real notes or anything like that. You find a couple of books, but they appear to be just kind of fairy tales.
I am going to take the valuable bottle of wine.
Okay. All right, you take the wine. You would probably value this at about 50 gold on a good market. Yeah. So it's
Ooh.
Yeah.
Would it be considered a petty item? Or
petty?
Or a regular item?
No, I'd say regular. Yeah, I think a bottle of wine would probably be regular.
There is a little flash of like something resembling what somebody might consider guilt of stealing a bottle of wine from a very
from an old lady,
from a poor old villager.
Yeah, she lives in a shack.
But I think that Sparrow has learned to ignore that feeling, and she pushes that down and tucks the bottle of wine away in the folds of her cloak, and then she will walk out. She will close the door behind her, and she will begin walking back towards the inn.
Okay, so you head back to the inn. You see that Jandy and Giva, they're long gone. You do see the light still on in the butcher shop, but you enter the inn and you find the rest of your companions. And then you see Drum off in the corner, and he's yawning and stretching, and it looks like he's about almost done with the shift.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going?
Well, I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
About lots of things, but me and Rune, we want to know what's in that cellar. Remember the cellar?
I have not. The cellar has not left my mind. Perhaps, and she looks over at Drum to see if he's like even paying attention at all.
No, he's oblivious. He's very tired. He's like massaging his lower back and stretching and yawning. And
perhaps we should retire to a more private place so that we can talk without worry of being overheard.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are heading back to your room?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe she might like walk by Drum and say, do you have to stay here all night, or were you just waiting for us to retire?
No, I'm staying here tonight. Sometimes I might sleep on the floor of my auntie's, but tonight I'm staying here. I got to go clean up some stuff from the stable, but and then I'm gonna call it a night.
Well, then I suppose I should warn you. Does he know?
Does he know what?
Oh, wow. So, I would go ahead and put off the stable cleaning for maybe tomorrow. And if the Reaver has any issues with it, he might want he can talk to us.
So why don't you roll me a will? What are the? I totally forgot the ability. Yeah, why don't you roll me a will check and see if you can convince Drum to abandon his duties and head off to bed. Okay. That's a success. You rolled a 6. So yeah, he kind of starts nodding. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I've been working hard all day, and he'll understand. And you have my back.
It's late. It's time to time to end the day, relax, unwind.
Right. Okay.
You deserve it.
Have a great night.
You too, Drum.
All right, so he kind of heads off upstairs, and you hear a door close. So you're all alone. Yeah.
Is there any kind of like assist mechanic in this game?
What assist? Like a help?
Yeah.
No, I think we'd probably figure it out narratively. So maybe if you had a better ability score, maybe your role would be, there isn't one, but maybe it's like a narrative thing we would just figure out.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah. To my knowledge, there's no helping kind of thing. Because I think I was looking for it, because I was curious, if you are helping somebody, do you get a bonus to your roll? How does it work? Mm-hmm. But the only rolls I see are like whoever has the most to lose is the one who rolls, but that's typically kind of like, escaping or doing something dangerous, I guess.
So Sparrow, I think, will then just head up the stairs.
Okay.
To go to the room.
All right, you head on upstairs. You find your room exactly as you left it, and you guys are all sharing one room. What about the rest of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should go up to the room, kind of talk about what we're planning next.
Okay, you guys all safely make it up to your room. Sounds are kind of muffled a little bit now that you're within closer quarters or smaller quarters. And you can kind of see faintly light out your window, which you can only imagine is most likely the upper window of the butcher shop.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Sparrow will go over what exactly what happened at the
okay.
I forget her name.
Giva. Yeah. So you guys have all that information that Sparrow told about that. They went over to the butcher shop as far as she knows.
Very specific about what she left, what she'd said and what she didn't say, what she left out. In case anybody asks and then tries to compare stories.
Yeah.
So
well,
what happened here? Anything?
Well, the Reeve and Drum, they're being really, really nice, giving us free drinks. And the Reeve said he's got some kind of special breakfast planned tomorrow.
Is it burritos? Breakfast burritos?
I was wondering, right? But
I mean, if it is, then we're in for a treat.
I don't know. Ruin and I.
Burritos. Oh my goodness.
Breakfast burritos with breakfast sauce.
What a coincidence that we had a person burrito earlier.
We were Ruin and I, though, we were talking about maybe trying to break into that cellar tonight. Sounds risky, I know, but I don't know. I'm on the fence about certain things. Like we kind of came here and did what we were supposed to do. We could just go back to that priest. What was his name?
That was Dasani.
Yeah, we go back to Dasani and tell him, look, we found his choir boy. He ain't doing good. He ain't singing tunes no more. And call it a day, collect the pay.
It's true, we could do that. But we are here, and it is nighttime, and I am very curious about what is going on in that cellar.
There could be
while
something.
We're here,
yeah,
we might as well, take a look. Stave off our curiosity.
There might be valuables in there.
There very well could be.
The only thing is, the last time we saw the Reeve, he retired to his office, and the entrance to the cellar is in the office. So we'd have to lure him out.
Or we could kill him.
That option?
I'm sorry.
Well, like a lot of mysterious things going on in this town. We could just get rid of them, and
I think we can come up with a more creative solution than just killing him.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But as a last resort, we can keep that in our pocket.
And of course, Erasmus wasn't serious, but he likes to say off the wall things sometimes.
Like crickets in water, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you guys want to try to wait him out, or because Rune, that when Milky went in there was no bed. It's a very small office with a single desk and then a trapdoor. So unless he's got some weird sleeping arrangement in there, you didn't see anything like it. He's probably going to retire to a room. That'd be your guess based on what you saw or what Milky saw.
Yes, somebody could keep watch and see when he leaves, and then we can head in.
It is very quiet in here, and Sparrow, you think you could definitely determine when somebody comes up the stairs and goes in a room, or
so she lets everybody know that she would be fine doing that, and she goes and kind of sits with her back to the door and kind of like leans back with her ear kind of towards the crack in the opening of the door.
Yeah, and you guys are just gonna kind of all wait,
kind of patiently listen.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you wait, and just as you expected, you hear footsteps going upstairs, down the hall, and then you hear a door close. You hear some coughing, some clearing of a throat. You hear the creak of a bed. And then all is pretty quiet.
Okay. Well, now is the time. She will stand up and look around and says, should we go and find out what's in that cellar then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. And she will go to open the door and peek out into the hallway.
Yeah, you peek out, and the only light is from the burning embers of the fire downstairs, kind of making its way up here. So it's very dim, but you don't see any light even coming out from underneath the doors, splashing onto the walkway.
Okay.
It appears as if everybody has turned in for the evening.
So stealthily, she will walk down the hallway and down the stairs to the office, making sure to watch where her footsteps don't creak on the stairs that she had.
Yeah, you're fine.
Made sure of earlier.
Yeah, you've come up these stairs enough, and you know the squeaky spot. So yeah, you make it down to the door of the office alone, and I'm guessing everybody else is staying in the room, right?
No, I think.
Yeah.
You guys are all coming? Okay.
Yeah. And I think what would be a good idea is if like two of us stayed in the main area. That way, if somebody does come, we can just, I'd be like, I was thirsty. I wanted a drink. He said it was on the house. I'm just helping myself to a drink. And then we need a word to warn whoever is down in the cellar that like there's someone around.
Okay. And what
burrito?
about
That'll be the word.
Burrito.
Burrito.
Okay.
That's the perfect word.
And then Rune and Ash. Ash, you are wearing chainmail, so just keep that in mind. That's
yeah,
not
he's gonna be one of
quietest
the
thing.
ones to stay behind.
Okay, you're staying behind. Okay. All right. Yeah. So then you approach the door, Sparrow.
Mm-hmm. She'll test it to see if it is locked or if there are any traps.
No, you kind of take
kind of silly, maybe. But
you never know. You never know, right? Overly cautious. So yeah, you check the door, and there doesn't appear to be any kind of mechanisms or anything like that. It is definitely locked, though. But you think you could probably pick it.
Okay.
It's a very simple
rudimentary
lock. So you do so. Click. It opens up quite easily.
She opens the door slowly.
Yeah, you open the door. It's dark in here. It's very dank. It has the strange smell of moisture. It's very, like I said, it's very dark, very small from what you can see. There's a little bit of light spilling in from the common room. And you see a small desk up against the wall. And then you do see there is a door, a trap door.
She'll stand for a minute to let her eyes kind of get used to the darkness, and before approaching the trap door.
Okay.
And she'll see if there is anything that is like blocking it, or if it just needs to be lifted, be open.
Yeah, this one is also locked. So this door and the floor is also locked.
Okay, I will try and pick that.
Okay, so as you start getting your tools out to pick this thing, I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session, everybody. So on a bit of a cliffhanger. Unfortunately, I'm out of town next week, so there will be no game.
No.
I know. Sorry, summer vacation time. But stay tuned for what happens next in a couple weeks. And thanks for joining us. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream or the VOD if you're watching in the future. And we'll see what happens next time. See you guys later.